Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we're looking at Green Arrow issue 1. This is from the 2023 series from DC Comics under their Dawn of DC banner. Written by Joshua Williamson, art and cover by Sean Izaakse, interior and cover colors by Romulo Fajardo Jr, letters by Troy Peteri, edited by Ben Abernathy. This is part 1 of the story Reunion. So Green Arrow wakes up on a alien world and we get a brief overview, very brief, 2-page thing about his origin, kind of. It probably could have been handled a little better, but it was nice to see they actually gave him some kind of origin story in issue 1. And then we just kind of forget about him for most of the issue as we jump over to his sidekicks to see what they're doing. We are introduced to Roy Harper, formerly Speedy, Arsenal, and Red Arrow, and Connor Hawke, who took over as Green Arrow for a short period of time, and then Black Canary. So they're out fighting some criminals, and they meet somebody known as Cheshire Cat, who has some sort of connection with them, and they have to go chase her down. This is in fact the daughter of one of the members of the group, and she of course has to have bright blue hair because hair dye is mandatory in comic books now, apparently. They have a touching moment before she disappears with Connor, and when she reappears we finally get back to our main character, who's only in this book for about 5 pages, and he appears to have obtained some armor upgrades that remind me vaguely of the Total Justice toy line, and we also get to see that manhunters are involved, which is pretty cool. And then he breaks some stuff that might have gotten them home. It was okay. It's a bit disjointed at times. I don't know if Joshua Williamson is writing every single book at DC now or what, but he seems to be getting a lot more work. And honestly, I probably enjoyed this more than I would have otherwise, because this easily could have been a really dumb book. There is of course validation of the women, because that's mandatory now. Black Canary is of course one of the bestest ever, and then we've got this girl who's of course a hardcore badass, and they all are super excited to see her, blah blah blah. I don't like Connor Hawke's long hair either. It's very goofy looking. It looked better when he had the shaved head, keeping the monk look. So those are my main complaints. The art's pretty solid though, except for there is some anime action lines, because we have to try and emulate better selling stuff, I guess, even though this probably could have done better on its own. And we also have to have the little exclamation lines like, oh, because we can't understand emotion unless we have that for some stupid reason. So those are my main complaints. Overall, the story was fairly middle of the road. I didn't hate it, didn't love it. It would have been nice if the title character was in it more though. Like I said, he's really not in this book very much, and that was kind of disappointing. They at least do kind of briefly tell you what happened to him and how he got sidelined after the last crisis and somehow ended up on an alien planet. But that's done in like one caption box and kind of glossed over after that. So it would have been nice to have more Green Arrow in the Green Arrow book. I don't know why we're focusing so much on the support characters in issue 1. That seems like something that should have happened in issue 2 or 3. But I'd recommend it if you can find it for a little less than cover price. $4 isn't completely outrageous for it. I'm just not that into the character and the supporting cast. It really could become a Dan Slott book where the supporting cast becomes the focus of the book over the title hero, like we've seen so many times before, and that would be really irritating. But because this is probably written for the trade, like almost every comic out of the main companies these days, they probably didn't think too much about the fact that the title character's barely in the book. This focuses more on the ancillary supporting characters than it does the main character, and that is always the sign of a problem. But I'm willing to give it another issue to see where it goes. Hopefully it does get better. Right now I'm kind of on the fence. I'm only going to recommend it if you can find it at $2 or $3, because I think $4 is just a bit out of line considering the title character is only in about 1/4 of the book at most. But the cover's really cool, the art's not bad, and the writing's pretty decent. It's just kind of middle of the road, and I'm very hesitant about the direction and feel of it. It does seem to suffer from a lot of the modern day problems that I don't like about comics. So we'll see how next issue goes. So if you can pick it up cheap, maybe, but unless you're a diehard Green Arrow fan, I would say you might want to just wait on this one. That's gonna do it for this one. Thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss future reviews. If you'd like to help the channel out in other ways, links are in the description to various support methods. And as always, we hope to see you on the next one.